I'm Jason Brown.
I'm Chris Haberman. Welcome to the People's Art of Portland Gallery, the top floor of Pioneer Place Mall. This, unfortunately, is our last show. This is tonight's opening for the closing of the whole place. We've been here since 2009. It is currently 2016, so we've had a really good long run here. Go ahead, Jason.
Big supporters of all the local art. We've tried to do a big mix of hundreds of different, actually thousands of different local Portland artists, but then we also mix it in with a feature rock poster artist. So each month there's always been an internationally known rock poster artist. So we kind of get the mix of both local and national art coming through on what's going around in the country and what's going on in local Portland. Mostly we deal with a lot of upcoming emerging artists, Portland-wise, but then a lot of established poster artists. It's across the gamut of all different types of people.
Like national artists, behind us is national artist Craig Horky, who's from Michigan, who actually traveled here tonight for the show. So we're just kicking off the evening right now. So since we did come into the mall originally, Jason and I had talked about how cool it would be to have posters, and Jason's the poster curator guy. And we dedicated always a whole certain part of our gallery to poster art. And we needed a international resident artist, and that started with Emick. So Emick became Emick was already a friend of Jason's, and then he became our very good friend and our resident artist here. And he even helped us name the gallery People's Art of Portland. We're not here alone. There are 3 other galleries. They've changed many times throughout the years, but Mark Woolley Gallery is here. We have an artist in residency gallery, and we have the OneDer Gallery, which was also Jason's shop, which is Pull Boy Art Framing.
Poster guy. Just moved into.
Yeah, he's been here like 1 month, and now we have to move. So it means the economy's getting better, but it also means that we have to leave. So, and this is not going to be other art galleries. This is going to be probably some development of offices, I think. So it's kind of sad, but it's good for us for horizon of what's going to happen next.
The mall's been really good to us, though, so it's not like issues of hard feelings or anything. I mean, they had to do what they had to do, but they've been amazing to us. We've been here for almost 7 years and always taking care of us. So it just works out where we're not going to be here anymore.
Really, all corporate places, malls, any place that has an empty retail space, they should give it to our community, and that's what happened with us. We were supposed to be here maybe a couple years. We ended up being here for 7. We created a lot of traffic. We created quite a good community here, and it's brought a lot of people together. And, it's neat to see people's faces just coming in here, and, people are sad, but this isn't a wake. This is no funeral for us. Jason and I, wrong side of the tracks came together to partner up, and it's been a good marriage. And he showed me the poster world, and I don't know what I show you, the mall.
Yeah, the mall. Yeah. We have. I mean, it's not the end either. I mean, we have other places we curate, and we're looking for other spaces and try to do like a couple big, huge shows a year. So, I mean, it's not the end. It's just the end of this particular place.
It's the end of the mall. We're the coolest thing to ever happen this mall. That's a great question. Where will the Big 500 be this year? 10 people have asked me that question right now. We have a lot of options. We don't know where it's going to be, and we're not going to tell anybody. So, Jason and I basically pick people to be in the Big 500. It's juried by basically us, and who we think we've really worked with the last few years. The Big 500 started as a Big 100, became the Big 200, 300, 400, and finally became the 500. And we stopped counting at that point. So we thought 500 is a good number. That's about as much as you really want to deal with.
And even with 500, it turns into more like 600 or 700 artists. But we just call it the Big 500.
With 12,000 square feet up here, and we use about 9,000 of that for the show. That's about the space that we would need. So we need wheelchair accessible. We need all ages. I mean, the Big 500 is a large community thing. It's brought so many people together over the years, and we will continue that. It's almost on its 10th year. So we definitely have had people through the years, and some people can do it, some people can't. But there's people that have been in every show. So Big 500 is definitely one of our staple shows, as well as working with Emick. I think those 2 large things will happen. We do a Love of Portland show. It's a pretty big deal. I think something else will happen. We years ago I worked on the Manor of Art, and I had a different partner then, but Jason was a huge part of that show. He just came in as my friend, came in as representing other people, and was a big part of that. So as soon as we have a chance to do that again, which we will, it will be a large building show of all different types of discipline. When I have a chance to do that again, we will do that together, you know.
My name is Craig Horky. I'm a freelance graphic designer and illustrator based out of Lansing, Michigan. I primarily do concert posters, but I do a lot of art prints and illustration work on top of that. I've known Jason. Well, I've been working with Jason for every year he does the Goodfoot concert poster show, the Art of Musical Maintenance, and I've been involved with that for close to a decade now, and he's been bugging me for a while about doing a solo or featured show at one of his other galleries, and I finally said yes, and then it just so happened to be the last show at this gallery. So that's how I ended up here in Portland. Like most people, I drew a lot as a kid, and I guess I just never wised up and stopped. So I just kept drawing, and then I went to art school, got a job as a graphic designer, and just kept drawing and started doing concert posters for friends, bands, and local clubs. And then thanks to the internet, it kind of spiraled out of control, and I started doing it nationally and internationally, and actually making some money off of it. And that's how I ended up here today. I like everything to be a little messed up. It's kind of like the appeal of being an artist, as opposed to like a photographer is you kind of have control. You get to play God a little bit, so you can add a couple extra eyes to something, or horns onto something that doesn't have horns. And that's kind of what I like to do, is just sort of mess with reality a little bit and kind of tweak things. On a plane back home in just a few hours after the show ends, and then right back to the drawing board, just keep drawing and keep doing it until my hands bleed. Nothing I am allowed to mention at this point. There's a few things that I'm working on that are supposed to be, kind of hush-hush, or have to wait for somebody else to announce it, but I'm definitely staying busy.
Mayfair, local artist, originally from LA, and moved out here about 7 years ago, and got together with Chris and Jason about the same time. Yeah, I was fortunate enough that when I first moved out here, I fell upon Pioneer Square and walked up here and asked how I could get involved with the scene out here, and they directed me to Jason and, asked him simply, how can I get involved? And it said, show support. Come to the shows, be part of the scene, and eventually we'll invite you to take part in the shows and be a showing artist. And, that was about 6 years ago, and I've never left ever since. Them, they've always supported me. I've always supported them, and it's been phenomenal. It's bittersweet that they're leaving, but, it's an end of an era, but it's the beginning of a new thing. Well, I'm originally a street artist from LA, did graffiti growing up, and stopped doing graffiti when I left high school and realized, had responsibilities, had a child at, 18, and so I figured need to stop doing the graffiti thing. And it wasn't until 2004 that I started doing dabbling in oils, and once I touched the canvas with the oil paints, I was like, I'm sold, and just picked it up from there. So my style is pretty much, it ranges from straight graffiti to traditional oil paints where it's portraits and landscapes, whatever, my mind takes me. And, I'm not limited to the graffiti style. I go from fine art to graffiti, so, I'm fortunate in that manner. And in regards to people's art leaving, I appreciate all the love they've shown me throughout the years, and they've obviously have seen me grow within the art scene out here in Portland, and I appreciate Portland just because they've embraced me a whole lot more and a whole lot quicker than I thought it was possible to get in. So I love that. That's the love of Portland is shown once you get in here or become part of it. Yeah. So thank you.
I'm Casey Cowan. I am a hobbyist painter. I'm a writer. I work in broadcasting, and I was the original host of Oregon Art Beat for 10 years, and that's how I met Chris and Jason. And I love this place. I don't think I've ever known anybody who has done as much for emerging artists as Chris and Jason have. They have encouraged me in my art. They got me roped into doing, I think it was the big 400, and then the 500 and the 600. I actually sold some paintings, which is great. They're just so wonderful and accepting. And what I love about this gallery is that it was very accessible. People could come in, it wasn't intimidating, they could find something they liked at a good price point and take home an original piece of art, which is how you get original art out there and how you benefit the artist. So I'm very, very sad that it's closing. This has been, I probably came by about every month at least, just pop in and talk to Chris or, Fred Swan when he was managing it. I'm going to miss that. I'm really going to miss the people, and I hope they regroup and find a new home. Well, as I said, I'm just a hobbyist painter. I don't feel the urge to paint every day, so I guess that means I'm not, a really driven artist. But when I find myself inspired by something, I get excited about it, and then I try and paint it. And I'm pretty much self-taught, learned a lot by watching other artists and by looking at other art. And it's just something I do for fun, and it's just another fulfilling thing in my life. I really love it, though. Bye!
My name is Beth Myrick, and I spray paint and cut stuff out of plywood. Yeah, I've been working with Jason Brown and Chris Haberman for about, 10 years, maybe 9 years, since before I was legally allowed to go to the bars that I had art in with them. Oh man, they've done so much. They're amazing people. I love it. I'm really bummed to see them go. But I know that they'll flourish wherever they end up, and they'll forever haunt my life with their amazing, amazing personalities. Oh man, it involves a lot of PBR, and just more people harassing me. I draw stencils, cut them out, then jigsaw them out, and layer lots of spray paint until I like it. And then I put them on the walls and people buy it, and it's rad. Yeah.
My name's Jessie McGrath, and I am the current manager of the People's Art of Portland Gallery. And what I do, a lot. I'm volunteer coordinator as well as gallery space manager, so I pretty much just make sure everything runs smoothly. That's basically my job. I actually started out as just an intern and a volunteer/artist here at the gallery. I first started here when I was 17. So this place used to host a high school show that was just for the Portland metro area. And my piece won Best in Show, which I didn't realize until I actually started working here. So I met Chris that day and then asked me if I wanted to start doing volunteering, and then it just took off from there, and now I'm manager. The gallery is closing, but I don't feel like it's over, We're definitely thinking about opening up a new spot on the east side, a little more accessible, especially since, parking downtown is a mess. Yeah, totally thumbs down on that. But, whatever happens once we get that started back up, I'm definitely going to be there. So whether it's managing or just volunteering or just helping out again, I'll be back in People's Art. Oh, the process is my favorite part. So I'm a mixed media artist, which does mean I mix mediums in one single piece, as well as I do multiple different styles and types of art. So I've done everything from like makeup and costume designing to set design, a lot of stagecraft stuff, but then also, like the fine arts or currently I'm actually working more on like comic booky kind of stuff and not so much pop art, but definitely like the mixed media graphic design kind of stuff. So my process is just do it, just get it done. In high school, one of the most liberating things that I got from one of my art teachers was he told me that nobody cares that I make art, which sounds like really rude and mean, but it's actually like, one of the most liberating things to hear, because then you just go, oh, well, if nobody cares, then I'm just going to do what I want. And then that in itself turned into my process of like, don't think too much about the end product, because again, like nobody cares. And like, it just turned more into just, feel it out as it goes. Like, it is definitely a process that requires a lot of brainstorming and a lot of trial and error, but it's worth it, and that's how I do. Art in general is just awesome. I mean, one of my favorite things that has been said about art is, you can't live without medicine or food or shelter, but then your soul can't live without creativity and art and expression. So that's my little thing about art. But as far as the closing goes, like I said, like this place has been my home the last 3.5 years. It's definitely taken me from that high schooler 17-year-old into like this 21-year-old artist and manager of galleries and curator, and it's been incredible. Places like this are definitely like what bring obviously huge communities together, and just a huge safe place to grow as a person and as an artist and as basically anything you want to be. So I'm definitely going to miss this place. The building itself and the space we're in is mostly nostalgia, but again, like, the building's closing, but People's Art is going to keep going, so not too sad about it, but I'm also looking forward to starting a whole new chapter to this, so, yeah.
All right, I'm Ben from BenWill Studio and Gallery on FOPO. I'm an artist, full-time artist, and also operate a gallery. I have, and I've done the Big 500. A lot of the artists that I've met are actually through this venue at Mark Woolley's, Chris Haberman, Peoples, and more recently the A.I.R Gallery, and as well as now the OneDer. And it's been a great place. It's been a great place for us to all get connected as a community. It's been awesome. I also do art, yeah. I'm kind of an abstract realist and expressionist, and I don't know how to describe my art, but it's colorful, it's bright, it's a bit abstract, but always with that sense of realism. And my stuff's at www.benwill.com, and that's the best way I can describe it, is to have you go to it. Right now, I always try to do a show with other artists. Right now I have Frank Cicillo, and he's also the lead guitarist at Southern North, which is a resident band at my studio as well. And it's amazing work. We call it like Navajo Picasso. It's kind of a blend of South and Picasso, and Cubism. I know that Chris and Jason, I've known them for a while, and Fred Swan and Mark Woolley. These guys are going to find something even better and bigger. Kind of sad to see the Big 500 go. I'm kind of new to it, but the last 2 years, after first hearing about it, I've sold out every show. And so I'm really excited about that. And I know that Chris is and Jason, they're going to come up with something. I know these guys are, and they're operating good foot and doing a lot of good stuff over there on Stark as well. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm Mark Woolley, and I'm the owner of Mark Woolley Gallery, founder of Mark Woolley Gallery, which opened in 1993, so quite a while ago. I was in the Pearl District for 16 years, and then I got involved in the OneDer Ballroom project over on Northeast Russell Street. So I had a gallery there for 3 years, and I wasn't quite getting the traffic that I wanted, and so I moved right downtown, a couple blocks from here on Southwest 2nd Street, next to Ogden Gallery for 2 years. And then I did pop-up shows for about 4 years, and then I've been here for 4 years. So I've been doing art dealing for about 23 years, so quite a while. So this particular space for last 4 years. I guess I've been doing this long enough in enough different spaces that, I'm sad, but I also feel like since we were technically month to month, that to be here for 4 years in a beautiful space has been awesome, and I'm kind of philosophical about it. We knew that we weren't going to be here forever, and the mall has been more than generous with us, so it's been good. It's been nothing but good, and we're all still part of the Portland art scene, and will remain that way. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with each of our respective galleries in terms of, where we might open up shop again. Or for me, in the short term, I'll probably just do some pop-up shows here and there. I'm already going to curate a show or two out in Astoria, and then just, do some pop-up shows and, sell art as a broker through my website, and take a little bit of a break. But I made this space more manageable for me in terms of doing 2-month shows instead of shows every single month. So it's been pretty manageable for me compared to when I was doing for 17 years shows every month, and for 3 years I had 2 full-time galleries. That was nuts. So this has been, by design, a lot more manageable for me. No, I just express thanks for everybody that's taken the time to find us here, and we definitely made the mall more interesting, and so it'll be interesting to see what everybody's next chapter is.
I'm Suzanne Vaughan. I'm an abstract. I paint abstract oil paintings, large format, colourful, colour field work. And I've been in the A.I.R Gallery for the last 4 months, which is closing as a consequence of this latest change in Portland art community.
Hi, I'm Fred Swan. I'm an artist, and I work in caustics, which is beeswax and resin. And I've been the curator, fortunate enough, of this gallery the last few months, and have worked up here in Pioneer Square Mall galleries for about 5 years with Chris Haberman.
Hi, I'm Kelly Williams. I'm an abstract artist as well, working in encaustic, do large-scale psychological narratives. And I've been involved with Chris Haberman, OneDer Gallery, A.I.R Gallery, and several other galleries in town for the last 10 years, and this is a sad thing to see going.
It is sad.
Yeah.
It is sad.
It's a real community.
Well, the closing is actually quite a shock to all of us. We always have been fortunate to be up here and known that we're on a month-to-month basis. But in your fantasies, you always think that, the temporary will be forever. So Suzanne and I have been up here as residents and artists in residence this past year. And Kelly and I have shown here. And so this gallery has formed really quite a network in the community. We've been really pleased to be able to work with one another.
It's a very sad loss for the art community in Portland. This is an anchor point for a lot of people. The A.I.R Gallery's been incredible for all of us. I personally really enjoyed being part of quite a very tight little community of people, and being connected with the other galleries here. Over the last, 5 years? Has it been 5 years?
5.5 years, yes.
It's like we've lost our little place that we all gravitate towards. Not just the openings, but the many events that we have here, the shows that we have. I just don't know where we're all going to find places to all be together. Like that's what I'm going to miss. I mean, the people are still here. We're still here, but we need it's the anchor place. It's gone.
I don't know. My opinion about the whole thing in general is that it was a great opportunity for a community to come together, for people to show in ways that they weren't able to show before. Fred really brought the level of professionalism up to a degree that's been really impressive and very kind of almost like we're a family. And between watching a lot of the studios close in town, now we're losing these galleries, which give access to artists and the community in a way that they don't usually. It's definitely a loss, and we're going to have to see how it reinvents itself, because there's no way that we're not going to do something.
No,
So.
no, absolutely.
It's a challenge for sure. Yeah, it's a challenge. So we'll see.
The one terrific thing this has done not only has helped so many of us network and meet one another, but it's given unsure artists or emerging artists an incredible opportunity to show their work. I mean, even children have shown their work up here. And once you show your work in a gallery, and this seems like an incredibly important gallery, it gives just people a tremendous amount of confidence to go out and look and show their work in other places. So that's Chris Haberman and Jason Brown have given a huge amount of young people an opportunity here that will be it will probably go on in other places, but not in a place right now where so many levels of talent and creativity can come together on an equal basis.
I love you, Fred.
I love these people. They're incredible artists. This is the real bonus. This is the real bonus of this place, is to meet this kind of people and get kissed on the cheek, too.
We know how to have a good time.
Robertson, and I work in several different painting mediums, but I'm most known for my encaustic work, working with hot wax. And I am so excited to be part of this group, this wonderful community of the Pioneer Place galleries, and especially A.I.R Gallery. Our director, Fred Swan, invited me to be part of the show and part of the group up here on an ongoing basis, and we've just had a wonderful time working together and having the artists sort of work their art a little bit off of each other, so that we just work with what we do, but we have our paintings sort of talk to each other in the shows. So it's been really exciting. Well, of course, with the closing of the galleries, it's been a real roller coaster. We're happy, we're sad. It's like one moment we're laughing and another moment we're crying. I've shown in 3 of the 4 galleries up here over the years and been so thankful for this community. And I'm thankful to the mall for given us enough time and space to make these communities happen. But of course, we're sad to see them go. I'm sure that we'll all see each other again, but I believe by the end of the night tonight, we're all going to be weeping a little bit. But right now, we're having a good time and trying to enjoy each other's company and enjoying all the great art up here. Sure, I work in encaustic painting, which is painting with hot wax. And I tell my students it's one of the oldest forms of painting that you've never heard of. It is a mixture of beeswax, resin, and pigment that's all mixed together. And I use something that looks like a pancake griddle. So I mix up all the colors, and then you paint them off onto a hard panel, and they cool so quickly that they don't sink in like regular paint. So the second step is using some sort of heat. So either a heat gun, or I like to use a propane torch. I like a lot of different torches. So I have a good time with fire. But you just add and subtract until you find the look that you want. And I really encourage my students to just play and be really bold, because working with the wax is like you have kind of an undo button. If there's something you don't like, you just heat it up and pull it back off again. You can scrape it off, you can add wax, or you can carve into it to make really deep texture. So it's very exciting, and I find it very meditative. So Fred is one of my former students. Joe Grishman, who's our sculptor, is one of my former students. Leslie Cowan, who is one of our guest artists, is also one of my former students, and it's really exciting for us all to show together.
Cutting loose, he's drinking juice. Pretty sure that